Welcome to another session of Grade 9 Mathematics, Chapter 6 Lines and Angles. Dear students, in this fourth part of the chapter, we'll discuss in detail the solutions to NCERT exercise 6.2, question number 1, 2, and question number 3. In question number 1, it says that in figure, find the values of x and y and then show that AB is parallel to CD. Let us observe this figure carefully and get to the solution of the first question.
Dear students, as been mentioned in the question, we have been asked to find the measure of angle x as well as the measure of angle y. Now, to find the measure of these angles, you need to recall the properties of different type of angles that we have learned and discussed in the first session. Now, if we could observe angle x and this particular angle which measures 50 degree, is there any relationship between these two angles? Yes, these two angles, if you could observe, they actually form adjacent angles, or what you can call the linear pair of angles. Yes, so x and 50 degree, they together form the linear pair of angles. So what I will write is x plus 50 degree should be equal to 180 degree, because the linear pair of angles, they sum up to be 180 degree. Okay, so x plus 50 is equal to 180 degree. So from this I'll be easily able to find x. How? I'll write x over here, 180 already is over here, and 50 goes to the other side. So plus 50 goes to the other side, becomes minus 50. So what do we have? X is equal to 180 minus 50 is minus. When you do, you get x is equal to 130 degree. So this was the first part. Now, we have found x. What is the next thing that we're supposed to find? The measure of y. Now, if you could observe the figure, y and this angle which measures 130 degree also are a certain type of angle. What type of angles do they form? They form vertically opposite angles. Now if you could observe here, this is a vertex, and these are two angles on the opposite sides of the vertex. So y will be equal to 130 degree. Why would y be equal to 130 degree? The reason is they are vertically opposite angles, and vertically opposite angles are always equal. So if this is 130, this would also become 130. Okay, so I have to mention the reason. The reason is vertically opposite angles. Okay, maybe if you want, you can mention it in short as VOA. So what does VOA stand for? Vertically opposite angle. So we have already found x, and now y is equal to 130 degree. So this was solution to question number 1.
Now, let us get into question number 2, which says that in figure, if AB is parallel to CD and CD is parallel to EF and y is to z is equal to 3:7, find x. So we have been asked to find the value of x. Kindly observe this figure and then let's get into the solution to question number 2.
Dear students, as mentioned in the question, we have a figure wherein it is given that AB is parallel to CD. So I'll mention that it's been given that AB is parallel to CD, and it further says that CD is parallel to EF. CD is also parallel to EF. So what does that mean? That all these three lines are parallel to one another. Fine. What else is given? It has been mentioned that in the question that y is to z is equal to 3 is to 7. Y is to z is equal to 3 is to 7. So where is y in the figure? Here it is. Y is 3 is to 7. So I'll write 3x. And where is z? It is over here. I shall write it as 7x. So I'll mention it over here also, that y will be equal to 3x and z will be equal to 7x. Now, coming back to what are we supposed to find? We have been asked to find the measure of angle x. This is what we need. Okay? How shall we find? Now, if you could observe, as I mentioned, that these three lines are parallel to one another. So that means AB is parallel to EF, right? And if I look at that way and I overlook CD, so don't look at CD, okay? So what I can say, that these two angles, yeah, if I don't look at CD and I consider that AB and EF are parallel lines, these two angles would be equal. Can you tell me why would it be equal? Why would x be equal to z? Because they would form the interior alternate angles, something that we have already discussed in the first session. What are interior alternate angles? Now, as I said, since AB is parallel to EF, the x will be equal to z. The reason is interior alternate angles, and the interior alternate angles are always equal, and hence I mentioned that x will be equal to z. But then what is z? Z is equal to 7x. So instead of the variable x, I would put 7x. So what is this? X is equal to 7x. I hope this is clear. Now let's proceed. Can we say that x and y also has got some relationship as far as the type of angles is concerned? If you consider line AB and line CD, what type of angles are these x and y? They are the interior angles on the same side of transversal. What are x and y? They are the interior angles on the same side of transversal. So this is a transversal. Yeah. So if this is a transversal, x and y are the angles on the same side. Yeah, and they're interior angles. And if you know that the interior angles would make up 180 degree. So I would mention over here, x plus y should be equal to 180 degree. The reason is they are interior angles on the same side of transversal. Okay, so what is x right now? That is equal to 7x plus what is y right now? That is equal to 3x. So 7x plus 3x happens to be 10x. 10x is equal to 180. From that I can write that x is equal to 180 divided by 10. Yeah, if 10x is equal to 180, if I need to find x, 10 goes to the other side and goes into division. So what do I get? X is equal to, if I solve this, I get 80. Now you can get 0 and 0 get cancelled out. So what is x? X is equal to 80. Yes, I'll put that value over here and find the measure of the variable x. So x is equal to, yeah, I could have actually put another alphabet so that you don't get confused with x and x. You could have taken it as 7m, 3m, 7m. Yeah? So what is the value of x? X is equal to 80. So therefore x is equal to 7 into 18. Can you please find out what is 7 into 18? Yes, 7 into 18 happens to be 126. So, if you have got confused a bit here there, then all that you have to do is replace the value of this ratio as m. Okay, so wherever x was there, I will put it as m. Okay, so that it becomes easy for you to understand and don't get confused with the x of the ratio and the x of the question. I hope now this is pretty clear to everyone. Now let's get into the next question.
Let us now look into question number 3, which says that in figure, if AB is parallel to CD and EF is perpendicular to CD and angle GED is equal to 126 degree, find angle AGE, angle GEF and angle FGE. Let us quickly get to the solution of question number 3.
Dear students, before we get to the solution of question number 3, I just want to remind you one thing again, what I said even in the first exercise. Geometry is all about observing the given figure and getting to a conclusion. The better you are at observing the figure and getting the data, the easier will geometry be. Okay, it is as simple as that. Now, in question number 3, it has been given that AB is parallel to CD. AB is parallel to CD. Fine, let me write that. AB is parallel to CD. All good. And it is also given that EF is perpendicular to CD. Where is EF? EF. Okay, this is perpendicular to CD. Okay, this is CD. Yeah, it's already mentioned here. Okay, so that means this is 90 degree. It is also given that EF is perpendicular to CD. All good. So if you know if this is 90 degree, the other side, the total would be 90 degree. That's a pretty known fact. Fine. What else is given? Angle GED. Okay, angle GED is equal to 126 degree. So where is angle GED? GED. The entire total of this is 126 degree. And in that, if you know, we have another small angle which is 90 degree. Okay. We have been asked to find 3 angles. One is angle AGE, angle GEF and angle FGE. Okay. Now, I say it again, it's all about observing the figure and understanding the type of angle that is present over here. So, the first angle that we have to find is angle AGE. Now, where is angle AGE? Here it is. AGE. Now, does AGE has an association with any other angle and they form a type of angle? Yes. If you could see, if you consider GE as a transversal, then what can you get is these two angles, yes, will form interior alternate angles. See, the figure may look like something like this. I have AB, which is this. I have CD, the line, which is parallel. And then I have got GE. Okay. Now if you see, this entire is given as 126 degree. And if you know, these two, they form the interior alternate angles. So what I would write now is that angle AGE, which I have to find, is equal to angle GED. What's the reason? Interior alternate angles. If that's the reason, we can write over here that angle AGE is equal to, GED is already mentioned, it is equal to 126 degree. So AGE will be equal to 126 degree. So we have got the measure for the first angle that we are supposed to find. Yes? Now, how about angle GEF? Where is GEF? Here it is, angle GEF. Now, if you could realize, GEF, this particular angle, yes, is actually part of GED. GED part is GEF. So what is whole GED? It is whole 126 degree, and this much is 90 degree. So what is this? It is the remaining, I say it again, GED, that is this whole angle is 126 degree. Okay, this whole is 126, and a part of this, that this much is 90 degree. So what is the remaining, which is angle GEF. So how would I write that? Angle GEF plus angle FED is equal to angle GED. That is, this angle plus this one is equal to angle GED, that is the whole. Now GEF is something that we have to find, so I'll write as it is. What is FED? FED, it is already mentioned that it is equal to 90 degree. What is GED? GED, the whole, that is equal to 126. So I would get GEF is equal to 126 degree plus 90 goes to the other side, becomes minus 90. So GEF is equal to 126 minus 90. Yes, please calculate what it is. Yes, it is equal to 36 degree. So I've got the value for the second one also. That GEF is equal to 36 degree. So this is 90, this is now 36. Now, we have found GF, what is left? FGE. Where is FGE? FGE. This angle. Yeah? If I could draw the figure, this is how it may look like. I'm redrawing it so that you don't confuse with the previous written things. So we have AB, we have CD, yes. We had this as FE, okay, and this was 90 degree, okay. We have something called this, which is G, and over here now we are supposed to find FGE. So where is FGE? FGE, this particular angle. Now, if you could realize, if I take GE as a transversal, these two angles, yes, should be equal. Should be equal. That is, angle CEA should be equal to FGE. Yes, but then how would I get CEA? It's pretty easy. The whole is 90 degree, because if this is 90, the other part is 90. And now in the previous step, I found this to be 36 degree, this particular angle. Okay, so I would write angle CEA plus angle GEF. Yeah, so the total has to be how much? 90 degree. So GEF is equal to 90 degree. Now CEA is something that I don't know, plus GEF is something that I've already found. So I can write CEA is equal to 90 minus 36. So that will give me that angle CEA is equal to 54 degree. Now once I got CEA, that is this part, yes, this is equal to angle FGE. Why is it equal? Because these are interior alternate angles. So this is what I said. It's all about observing the figure. Yeah. So I would next write, since CEA and FGE are interior alternate angles, okay, therefore they are equal, and hence if CEA is equal to 54 degree, FGE will also be equal to 54 degree. Yes. Now in this question we have been asked to find the measure of 3 angles, and we have got the answer for the 3 of them. This concludes question number 3.